السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته بلاتينيين. اليوم حلقة جديدة فاينل فانتسي 16. قبل ما نبدأ وقبل ما نحكي أي كلمة في المقدمة، إذا أنت لسه مش مصلي أو مش مادي فروضك وقف الفيديو وانطلق إلى تأدية الفروض بخشوع وروية وتركيز، وبعدين تعال كمل الحلقة واستمتع معنا يا بلاتيني يا حلو. وإذا كنت لسه مش بلاتيني اشترك وفعل جرس التنبيهات عشان تصير بلاتيني وتتابع كل جديد على PlatinumMo. الآن ننطلق ونكمل حلقة جديدة، بس قبل ما نبدأ تذكروا بدنا لايك وشير. يلا نبدأ. تمام، نكمل مجموعة المهام الفرعية الأخيرة اللي ضايلة. الآن احنا في مهام المخبأ، نشوف شو في عنا هون. لأن هون مهمة لا اوكي نعم حكاية ذيل.
It's usually me making demands of Hippocrates. I wonder what this is about.
يلا انطلق. عندنا هون مهمة، مهمتين، ثلاث. طبعا احنا بنعد المهمة اللي احنا فيها. المهمة اللي احنا فيها 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 مهمات فرعية. ان شاء الله نقدر نخلصهم بحلقة واحدة. نسويش انه في مهام صيد طايل كأنه 2 حسب اطلاعي على مجريات التروفي الخاص في الهانتنج او الصيد، صيد الوحوش.
Lawsman Hippocrates, I received your note.
نعم، لقد تلقيت منك رسالة غريبة.
I expect you're wondering what this is all about.
You spoke of making amends with Dion, but I can't imagine what for.
Then I should begin by telling you that I was once his tutor. This was some years ago, of course, before I joined Sid in his hideaway. At that time, I was counted among the foremost scholars of Oriflamme, and was accordingly invited to the palace to supervise the young prince's education, all to ensure that the future emperor had a firm grounding in, well, everything an emperor should: history, religion, commerce, government. Alas, our time together was cut short when Dion left to join the Dragoons, his studies no longer being deemed necessary. I had not expected to meet with him again, least of all here.
Have you spoken with him?
No, I have yet to find the right moment. His Highness always seems so preoccupied, especially when alone. I would not wish to disturb his ruminations with idle words of greeting, not when I know he dwells upon the evil Ultima had him commit in the Dominion.
The guilt weighs heavily on him, I know. But as you say, that was Ultima's doing. Surely you can't blame yourself.
When I first met him, it was not guilt, but his people's expectations that weighed heavily upon him, and I did nothing to ease that burden. He bore it alone, until the day he could not bear it any longer. It is one of my greatest regrets that I only ever offered him my wisdom, when what he truly needed was friendship. The blame for Dion's transgressions lies not only on his shoulders, but on mine.
I see. I'm ready to help you in any way that I can.
Then I beg that you bring me a wild wyvern tail. Apothecaries across the ages agree that even to glimpse such a flower is to be granted inner solace. Fabulists and fraudsters all, of course. But there is oft a seed of truth to be found where even the most outlandish opinions align.
Well, it can't hurt to try. Where can I find this flower? And how will I know it?
You have seen cultivated wyvern tails before, I trust. The lily-white blossoms from whose roots the poisonous ink for the brand is distilled. Well, those which grow in the wild differ only in their purple hue. The harsher the environment in which they are raised, the deeper the color. There is a waterfall in Rickmal's roost across the strait, where the flowers once grew in abundance. Whether they still survive there, I know not. But try as I might,
هسه بعطينا اياها الخريطة مش مشكلة.
It's all right. I'll find you a wyvern tail one way or another.
عندنا الحركات هاي.
Thank you, Clive. And please, be safe.
يسلح يلا يسلح يعني هيك شكله اغلب المهمات هسه في ولود. لا بس ولود الرماد. والله قبل ما نكمل المهمة خلينا نعمل شوية تقوية للقدرات.
Purple flowers blooming next to a waterfall. Shouldn't be too hard to find.
دمر
Might as well pick enough for a bunch, I suppose.
يلا
Oarsman, I found the flowers you were looking for.
خذ.
You did?
I think I did.
You did indeed. My dear boy, thank you.
You wanted to make Dion a gift of one, did you not? Shall I invite him to join us?
Oh, I don't...
It's no trouble. I'll go and fetch him.
بلديون.
Your Highness, would you do me the honor of accompanying me?
Now. It is time, then.
No, only to the shelves. Our lawsman has something he'd like to give you.
Master Harpocrates. No. I dare not show my face before him. Not after everything I have done.
يلا يا زلمة روح انطز.
I have taken countless innocent lives. And ruined countless more. All because I was weak. I have sworn to atone for my crimes or die in the attempt. But were I to meet with him again, and see in his eyes what I have become. I fear that my resolve might falter.
Then that is all the more reason to do it. Test your resolve. Prove to yourself and to him how strong it truly is.
يلا روح 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 اركض.
You are right. I must, at the very least, offer him my gratitude. Very well, then. Take me to him.
Follow me.
Even now, I hesitate to approach him. What must he think of me?
You'd be surprised.
Master Harpocrates,
نعم.
pray, accept my apologies for leaving your tutelage before my studies were complete. Your lessons opened my mind to a world quite unlike the one I had imagined from within the gilded confines of the palace. And I shall be forever grateful for the efforts you made to enlighten me.
Lift up your head, Your Highness. The deeds of youth require no apology. That you took the time to visit me
حلو سينماتكس كبير صار في القصص يعني مش سينماتكس هيك كان عارف شيء قريب منه.
There is something I would like to show you.
Is that a wyvern tail? The color is unfamiliar to me.
Because it is unique to those found in the wild. Something in the harsh environments in which they grow lends them this
حلوة.
striking hue. Their roots are indistinguishable from those of their hothouse cousins, but once they bloom, the difference is immediately apparent. In this flower, I see you, Your Highness. Its roots were the roots of a wyvern tail, with all that implies. But they do not define it, just as yours do not define you. I want you to have it, that it might remind you of this truth.
Master Harpocrates, I would ask of you a service. Keep your gift until I have fulfilled my duty to the realm, for only then shall I be deserving of it.
As you wish, Your Highness. I shall await your return.
ايش هيك صارت بخاطر المعلم.
Our roots do not define us. No wonder my stepmother didn't like him. For reuniting me with memories I had thought long lost. I shall not forget this.
أعطى هدية. أعطى مهمة تقريبا لديون مش لا. معلم.
Thank you, Clive. Were it not for you, I fear I might never have found the right moment to speak with him. Not to mention the wyvern tales. I shall plant their seeds, that I might not disappoint His Highness.
لعبة هيك خيالها يعني ماشي فيها عكات كثير، بس القصة نفسها هيك يا أخي حبكات تجذبك رغم إنها طويلة وهيك. بس حالك تحضر مسلسل قوي أو فيلم قوي. مسلسل لعبة صراحة هي. كل مرة ببهروني بشي لقطة جميلة في اللعبة.
What's this?
A stoler's quill. Or more precisely, my stoler's quill. 'Tis said that an owl's feathers are steeped in the wishes it hears over its lifetime. All those words just waiting to pour out onto the page. So consider this my wish for you. That one day you may put down your sword and pick up that pen.
Well, when that day comes, I'll certainly have a lot to write about. Thank you, Harpocrates. It shall have pride of place in my chamber.
أحمد فهمت شيء جيجا بجيجا حلو نستخدمها أوضع في غرفتك. إيه شكله في دريفتنج في الكنترولر تبعي، ضل يزيح اليسار بس مش هذاك التأثير يعني وأنا بلعب، بس بتكون هيك تارك الكنترولر وبتبلش لحالها تلعب. أوكي خلينا نستخدم هدية الأستاذ ديون. هاي حلو. خلينا نشوف العم ايش بده، بس خلينا نتفقد حلو منظرها. أنا وقت العم
Clive, my boy.
رفقاء ثلاث.
Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved, but such are the times we live in, huh?
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible noble.
أنت عارف بس يا عم شو تربى
Tell
تكون.
me, is the realm truly in as dire a state as Rutherford suggests?
تقريبا.
From what little I saw, you were right to be worried.
I suppose I should have expected the worst. But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things a little more under control. Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days, and without it, the people are bound to lose their way. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many, but in my estimation, there are two key areas to be addressed before any other.
هاتي نشوف شو الأمرين.
Realm's armies and her larders.
سهلة الأمور ما
As
تخاف.
you've seen firsthand, It's every man and woman for themselves out there. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes? But such cases are few and far between. And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. A unity that transcends even the borders laid down by our ancestors. In short, if Storm does not
طبعا هسه في تروفي على المواقع اللي انت تجولتها في عالم اللعبة، فهم 68 موقع. انا هسه حتى الان 66 موقع. مش عارف ضايل موقعين. معقول انا لسه ما كشفت كامل اللعبة، كامل الخريطة؟ شيء غريب.
But I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen to on occasion. Field Marshal Eugen Havel.
I thought he was retired.
He was,
شو تقاعد يا
until an
زلمة.
Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. There is no man alive more capable. Literally. And as luck would have it, I've already spoken with him on the matter.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one condition. That he first speaks with you personally. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle. And he has certain qualms about clasping arms with, well, with an outlaw. I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course. But the old goat was adamant that he be allowed to appraise you in person. You don't mind, do you, my boy?
ايضا شو امانة. تعال يلا هسه ننطلق انا وياه.
As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. I'll do whatever it takes. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me in person, then so be it.
That's the spirit.
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian capital. I'll have him tell Havel to expect you forthwith.
Excellent. Thank you, Uncle.
No. Thank you, Clive.
تمام.
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
I don't need your... Please, Field Marshal. Oblige him.
This won't take long.
ابد ابد انت وياه ابد.
You're right. It won't. Men, finish him.
ابعد على السريع هيك خلينا نخلص. قديش اخذت معي 10 ثواني؟ كثير.
A little longer than I'd have liked. Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you injured?
No, my lord. You arrived just as our escort turned on us. Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying regions abandoning the oaths they swore. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so close to the heart of the Republic. It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My lord Marquis. Or is Sid the outlaw more to your liking?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am, or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm, and he needs your help to see it through.
Before I agree to anything, I'd have you answer one question. What do you stand to gain from all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now we have a chance to put things right. But in order to take it, we must stand together, even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
أقنعك.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. But perhaps your uncle was right. You are no ordinary outlaw. I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
حلو تنظيم
Thank
المنطقة.
you, Field Marshal.
جيد لما بعد الحرب اللي راح يعملها على
They
ألتيما.
are not the only ones we will need to convince.
الحالة هي هو بحاجة للتنظيم فعليا.
I don't doubt that I can bully some
أفضل القارة
sensitive
مخربطة.
generals, but those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. And when it comes to honeyed words, well, we will need an envoy, one who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen. You, perhaps.
I'm flattered, but I'm no diplomat either. And I have other problems to attend to. What we need is a skilled arbitrator. And I may know just the person.
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw too?
يعني
Of a different kind, perhaps.
Beggars can't be choosers. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this. Very well. Send your man to me right away.
I shall.
جزء قاف قصة.
My Lord Marquis, your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor in Port Isolde.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
قاف ولا أوتو واحد منهم.
An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. No. This is a job for someone with experience. Someone like Quentin.
Quentin.
I hope I can convince him at least.
مع تخير أكثر إشي عاجبني بلايستيشن 5 سرعة التنقل وسرعة التحميل في الألعاب. ما شاء الله يعني إشي كثير كثير خرافي. تعبانين عليها صح جماعة. طبعا طبيعي لأنهم بيستخدموا M2 SSD NVMe. أحد يقول لي بيستخدموا NVMe. هم حاطينها انتجريتد بس في الجهاز. انت بتقدر تركب NVMe كاكستنشن وتظبط امورك وتكتشف انه فعلا NVMe اللي مركب على البلاي ستيشن 5. بعدين لا تنخدعوا بقصة انه والله الانتجريتد يعني احنا بنفضل نركب اكستنشن لانه انتجريتد راح يخرب بسرعة. لا هذا حكي فاضي. بتحكي عن 15 سنة بكون نازل بلاي ستيشن 7.
Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cask of Gotand gold. Go on then.
يعني عمر ال SSD او ال M2 هيك القصد. البروسيسيز بالعمليات اللي بعملها. تقريبا المدة
You'd have me
15 سنة.
convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their pride and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps I can fetch you a meat pie as well.
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think of none better suited to the role.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, Clive. The people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us we could build new lives for ourselves.
انت حدا اللي يسندك، انت مالكيش على القناع يا كلايف. واقع من طيارة، واقع من تنين عشان فيش طيارات او جريفن.
I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us?
Where do you need me?
Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in Port Isolde. I can arrange for a party of cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from safe these
ما فيش
days.
شيء آمن في القارة اللي انتم فيها.
My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape.
ايه وين راح؟ كان جنبي وانا مش منتبه.
Uncle, I bring good news. The Field Marshal has agreed to your plan.
يلا عيش.
Of course he has. I didn't doubt you for a moment, dear boy.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port Isolde as we speak. They will await your return there. As will one other.
One other? Who, exactly?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution, and I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate turned Liberator.
One of your co-conspirators?
Master Quinton would probably call me one of his, but yes.
Another outlaw, then. Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places. Thinking, Clive?
Glad you approve.
The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, my boy. The 7 high houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion, but luckily I had some unexpected help.
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward Rockford from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased. She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to follow suit.
I'm happy to hear it.
Now, I must be getting back to the manor. Join us there at your earliest convenience, would you?
Of course, Uncle.
What's that? اوكي.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with the
Don't
belly
take in a
bigger than
pub.
a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships.
عارف بجوز بتملوا من القصة، بس حلو أن نعرض القصة كاملة، لأنه مهمتنا أن نعرض اللعبة كاملة فعليا، أو القصة كاملة في اللعبة على قدر الإمكان، يعني على قدر ما نقدر لحد ما نوصل للبلاتينوم، صح؟ إذا أنتم مش معي في الحكي هذا اكتبوا لي في الكومنتات عشان أقنعكم برضه في الكومنتات. كومنتات يعني تعليقات، عارفين بس كنوع من التصحيح. خلص حكي أنت وياه. في ناس بدها تحضر، بدها تشوف بتلعب.
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a
حبيبي
criminal.
روحت.
Criminal? How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the bloody outlaw.
يا حبيبي أكثر حوار مضحك في اللعبة.
Shall we begin again? What we
حبيبي
seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones of those that already exist. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that our cause is just. There will be disagreements, yes, and I imagine some resistance, much resistance. But we cannot let that deter us. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves, then I am confident they will follow. The fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in ours. And we must not squander the chance that Clive has given us.
أنت كلامك يا العم بايرن.
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the accord.
واحد من الشخصيات اللي عاجبني جدا بايرن في اللعبة.
Hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony. Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Tri-Unity. Rutherford, Mike Will. Well, my boy, the stage is set.
That it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust in the talents of your supporting
كانت مهمة عبارة عن قصة بتحسها ما في إلا قتال بسيط فيها. وهاي فعليا المهمات اللي بتاخذ وقت. عرض سينماتكس كله.
And there is no better Crandall than you, Clive. I want you to keep this signed accord as proof of our faith in you.
I will. Thank you, Uncle.
What do you think that thing is? And how the hell is it gonna...
تمام نشوف المفضلات ونشوف يعني المعروضات المفضلة ونشوف ايش، نشوف الخطاب اللي وصل من مين. اتوقع من هربوكريس. طيب طيب عندنا 2 4 5 مهمات فرعية. ديون 5 مهمات فرعية و4 شغلات، معناته قربنا نخلصها هاي. مين هسه؟ موريس.
Sid, do you have a moment?
يلا.
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's no escaping her. She found some way to send me a letter. And something else. Records from a Waluda prison. Seems they were keeping a lot of bearers there.
How did she come by such a thing?
Finding bearers always was her strong point. And it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign captives, the masterless. Bearers no one would miss. And even better for her, bearers with no one to look after them. When ether started lapping at the walls, the jailers fled.
Leaving the bearers to be liberated by whoever happened to come along next.
Sid, I'd like to believe that I've earned your trust by now. And while I'm well aware that you've forbidden Cursebreakers from traveling to Walud, I can't let those bearers die in their cells. I'd rather risk shipwreck on the Shadow Coast than leave them to starve.
We'll be needing the Enterprise if we're going to navigate the Narrow.
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception, but we travel together. And we stay no longer than we have to. Ash is an inhospitable place at the best of times.
ما شفتي
We save as many as we can, then we leave.
Thank you, Sid. There was a name in the prison register. A name from my past. Chadwick. Another of my former master's protégés. A gifted soldier, and the closest thing I had to family. The thought of him held captive in that place.
He must be very important to you.
He was. Is.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the shadow of Ravenwit Walls, just beyond the portcullis. We should head there as quickly as we can. I only pray there are still bearers alive to save.
As do I, Doris.
انطلق. سهل الأمور جنبنا.
There were no guards, I take it.
None manning the gates, no. It's a different story inside, though. The corridors are crawling with Akashic. Most likely guards left behind when the wardens ran. If Chadwick was being held here, I worry that he may already be.
Don't give up hope just yet. But let's move quickly. Let me check the ground floor. The ether's thickest there.
Then I'll search the upper level. Good luck, Sid. Stay safe.
Just how bad are the floods inside the walls? Bad enough to turn a bearer? I hope not. We're risking a lot just moving here. Better keep my eyes open for signs of life. So this place was no ordinary prison. And I doubt they'll have taken the creature with them when they fled.
لازم نضلك تحت. تفقد.
Minimal loss of Waluda lives. And what happens when they run out of bearers? Even the Imperials take better care of their branded than that.
الحبة.
They were feeding bearers to it. This is even worse than I'd feared. Nothing but a caching down here. Hopefully things are looking better upstairs. I should go and see how Doris is getting on.
نرجع معناته نطلع الطابق فوق. وين لقينا الدرجات بنطلع عليهم. وين كانت الدرجات؟ ايوه. رجعت احسن.
Downstairs. But I did find out that this place was more than just a prison. Something far more sinister was happening.
كانوا طعموا حملة سحر لناس هيك وحوش.
It can't be true, can it? Bearers die every day in service of their masters, but this is so much worse. Pitting bearers against a wild beast armed with nothing but their wits? And all in order to bring about more death. And not just those who could fight, but the elderly, children even. And those who wouldn't or couldn't were disposed of. Whatever that means.
I'm afraid it means they were fed to the monstrosity they kept here.
Then we're too late. And I was a fool to bring you here.
Don't say that. Did you find anything else?
A key. But it doesn't fit any of the locks on this floor.
Perhaps it will fit one of the doors downstairs. There's a corridor I haven't searched yet. Finish up here, then come and find me when you're ready.
All right. I'll be there in a moment.
كشك ترى بعطيش نقاط زي ما بدك.
Let's see what we can find down here.
النوتة وينها؟
A survivor. And she sounds close.
هي بنوتة صغيرة.
Who are you?
There's no need to be afraid. Are you alone? Are there any other survivors?
Some of the guards. They're still here. But something's wrong with them. Everyone else was eaten by the monster.
Of course there were.
Thank the Founder.
It was worth our coming. But I'd rather we didn't linger. Are you ready?
Ready when you are. You poor thing. He must have been terrified.
Did Jadwick send you?
What?
He fought the monster. Distracted it so I could run away. He must have sent you. He promised to free the others too. Where is he? He opened your cell, didn't he? He wouldn't be here otherwise.
Chadwick.
Was that?
Monster's back! Chadwick, help!
We have to get out of here.
Doris, keep the girl safe.
All right. You put that bearer-eating bastard in the ground.
هسه أورجيك فيه. هذا
It's
هو.
out there waiting for me. I can't let it live. Not if it's got a taste for bearers.
كيف بدنا نفوت؟ كيف بدنا نفوت؟ كيف بدنا نفوت؟ ايوه طيب اوه هذا وحش طلع وحش بمهمة حلو وحش صيد يعني
Beast will make havoc if it ever leaves the prison. I can't let that happen.
سريع أطلق من الغنايم ما تبي غنايم.
Finally.
Sid, are you hurt?
لا دغدغة.
I'm fine. I think.
No.
What is it?
A diary. I gave it to Chadwick before we went our separate ways. He was here. Do you think that creature?
I'm sure he fought bravely to the last. The girl is safe thanks to him.
Chadwick. You fool.
Come on. We have to get her back to the hideaway. We don't want his sacrifice to have been in vain.
يلا قومي.
No. Of course not.
مسكين مات مشان ينقذ الصغيرة.
I'll see that she's looked after from now on. It's the least I can do.
في وقت لاحق.
From what I hear, you've barely left the girl's side in days. I hope she's recovering from her ordeal.
She is. Slowly but surely. She's far tougher than she looks. I thank the flames we found her. If we hadn't...
I know. But we did. I'm sorry we weren't able to save Chadwick.
There's no need to apologize. Without your help, I would never have found out what happened to him. How he fought to the bitter end to save her. To save Haida Marie. That's the man I remember. The man I thought of as a brother.
I wish I could have met him. I'd like to hear more about your past. If you don't mind,
الله سولف وسواليف.
Of course. You already met my former master. She trained Chadwick and I to do two things. Kill and obey. We were supposed to be sold to the highest bidder when the time came. But no bid was ever high enough to convince her to part with us. For years, we were her daggers in the shadows. But we could never quite shake our doubts about the things she made us do. And then, one day, we just couldn't do them anymore. So we escaped. But staying together was out of the question. They would have found us too easily. After so many years of training, the pull to serve was always strong. It scared me to think he might have taken another master, become a dagger in someone else's hand.
But even in captivity, the battles he fought were his own. And he died not as someone's tool, but as a hero.
Haida Marie is proof of that. Bearers can cast off their shackles. And the curse breakers will show them how. I'll fight until my dying breath to see it done. For Chadwick, and for all of us.
Thank you, Doris. We'll be counting on you.
اكتملت المهمة. بقينا مستوى جميل. مالك ترقص؟ ترى وحش جديد؟ جديد والله. تعرف نعمل محاولة واحدة، إذا زبطت زبطت، ما زبطت بما إنه بولود خليني أدور في بولود. شوف في إشي ذا. أها أي تم الإكمال. لا توجد مهام. تم الإكمال يعني بده يكون يا هون يا هون. ما هم بلود، ما هم قايلين بلود. طب خلينا والله خلينا نجرب هون. الدرفتنج راح تجننا. هو الحلقة نتف صغيرة. نقاتله وبعدين ننهي الحلقة. أيوه وبوجهي طلع. لو إني يا زلمة قاريك قراية مش هيك. كنت بدي اياها بس يلا. ايش اضربه كمان؟ ثم تخلصني. جائزة جديدة. كانت متعبة والله.
No match for you, eh, Torgal?
تمام. هيك انهينا كل اشي اسمه صيد. طلع عنا 4 مهمات فرعية، اتوقع انها هي اللي راح تعطينا شغلات هيك. ما في اشي هون. جميل. اوه، في كمان تروفي جماعة الخير.
Twinside's hundreds of leagues away. That'd mean the crystal is...
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Your benefactors are a generous lot. You earned this.
برضو تروفي فضي. جميل.
All done?
تمام، احنا هنا وصلنا لنهاية الحلقة الحالية من فاينل فانتسي 16. اتمنى تكونوا استمتعتوا في الحلقة. اذا وصلتوا لهون ولسه مش مشتركين، حبيتوا الحلقة، حبيتوا اسلوب عرض اللعبة، اشتركوا، فعلوا جرس التنبيهات، كله ببلاش. يوتيوب ما بطلب منك مصاري. اشترك، فعل جرس التنبيهات عشان تشوف كل اشي جديد بنعرضه على بلاتينوم مو، وتشوف باقي التختيمات الموجودة في اللعبة في القناة. سوري. ولا تنسونا بلايك غالي منكم، وشيروا للأصدقاء، ممكن يستمتعوا معنا ويستفيدوا أكثر في تختيم الألعاب. أشكركم على وقتكم الثمين، ونراكم ونلتقي إن شاء الله على خير. كان معكم محمد ملكاوي، أحلى تحية مني لكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.